Is it time to put Comey back under the congressional microscope? Let me ask former CIA officer Buck Sexton, also the host of the radio show Buck Sexton with America Now. So, Buck, Lindsey Graham's talking about subpoenas for Comey. What does that do?
Well, this is a battle of innuendos and allegations at this point, and I think both sides really understand that. We don't have a lot of new information to work on here other than the allegations that James Comey, as FBI director, had more or less decided that Hillary wasn't going to face charges no matter what. Now, some of us had that suspicion all along. In fact, I remember saying that on TV in certain places, that there was just no way they were ever going to prosecute the Democrat presidential candidate, no matter what they found in the emails. I think that turned out to be true. I think that's what people are looking at now. And it's a way of really hedging against anything that could possibly come out from the Mueller investigation. They're going to say, well, if it's a close call with some overseas something sketchy.
So it's set precedent that might work out on the president's behalf.
Exactly. This is preparing the battlefield for what's coming down the line from the Mueller investigation. I think it's a completely legitimate line of inquiry. If the FBI director made a decision that was completely politicized, that the front-runner, or not the front-runner at that point, the candidate for the Democratic nomination for president, was able to break the law and get away with it because it was so important to a lot of people, there is nothing that could undermine the credibility of the FBI more thoroughly. And that also, by the way, then goes to Comey's motivation for standing in front and saying, I had to protect the Department of Justice by standing in front of the American people and saying that this would not have resulted in charges. Well, if he decided beforehand it wasn't even going to be in charges, he doesn't care much about the FBI's reputation. He cares about protecting Hillary Clinton, the Democratic Party, which is a big deal.
Of course that's a big deal, and that's what we've been talking about all along, and that lends itself to the type of institutional corruption that can really damage a country long term. Now we're hearing that there's 1,600 additional emails, classified emails that went over Huma Abedin's into her email account from that non-secure server.
Well, they've set a precedent that I think is going to come up in the future, and it's going to come up also in the continued back and forth over
we're finding more
the DOJ.
stuff. I mean, we're finding.
They thought that they were above the law when it came to classification and the rules about what you can and cannot do on an open server like this. So they thought that, and that's the only way that you could ever explain such egregious violations. I've said this before to people. One or two here or there, I used to have a clearance. It could happen. Over 100, hundreds and hundreds of times. This is people who just decided, you know what, I'm above this. It's not that important. Other people have to worry about that stuff. And this is also a thought that people thought that James Comey had the fix in for Hillary from the beginning.
Yes.
People also thought that Hillary Clinton believed she was above the law. Those things are looking really true right now, which is a problem for the Democrats if they're going to be saying that there's Russia collusion and treason and all these things. Where's the evidence for that? Still don't have that evidence, still have a lot of Hillary email evidence.
And the evidence just keeps coming in. So, last question, because we got to wrap it up. I got to get back to the party panel. You know, they're at a cocktail party. They're waiting for their glasses to be filled. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So, where do we go from here? I mean, can you reopen the investigation with a new FBI director and a new AG?
I think that that's what they're holding as leverage, in a sense, here against whatever comes out from the Mueller investigation.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Buck.
Thank you.